Hi everyone, welcome to week 4 of our video series, which is the final week. Hope you've enjoyed them so far. I've had some great feedback and comments which I've really enjoyed replying to. So today we're going to do a little bit of everything. We'll go back to the dumbbells and we'll do a little bit of body weight work and some ab work as well. So we'll start off with lighter dumbbells than you normally use. If you don't have dumbbells, don't worry, just clench your fist and work the muscles that way. Or you might have some water bottles or some cans of beans or whatever in the cupboard, but it should be ideally at least 1 kilo lighter than you would use when we do our stationary weights. So depending how much weight you do lift with the stationary weights, think about going about half to 1 kilo lighter. So I'm going to grab mine and we'll put the music on and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. So let's just start off. Marching on the spot, rolling the shoulders, just warming up a little bit, waiting for that beat to kick in. Deep breaths in and out. Here we go. We've got heel digs and bicep curls. So nice strong wrists, clench those fists, keeping the elbows into the side, bringing the dumbbells up to the shoulders. Side tap, tricep arms. You can do single arms or double arms. Good girl. Okay. Yeah. Let's do tap back, tricep kick back. Try not to swing the arms, keep the elbows in, just extending from the forearm. Knee lifts, punch in front. Yeah. Calvin the girl. Okay. Yeah. I can't sing. You might have noticed. So it's like a rotator cuff and a leg curl. Keep those elbows into the side. Bring your heels up towards your butt. A step touch, upright row. Very good. On the spot, punch across the body. Little tap to the side. Extending that arm. Up and across if you can. That's it. Good job. Okay, roll it out. 2 steps this time. So back to those upright rows. Back to the middle, heel dig, and push the arms out. Still working your triceps. Tapping behind, push the arms in front. Single or double. Keep those shoulders back and down, breathing out as you extend. This time it's 2 steps to your left, 2 steps to your right. Left, right. So it's left tricep, right tricep. One more time. Heel digs, tap backs, push the arms in front. Very good. This time, with the heel dig, punch up in front. Now those weights starting to get a bit heavy, put them down if you need to. Let's do same arm, same leg. Bit of a brain challenge. This time, Opposite arm to leg, whoops. Apparently, same arm, same leg. Very good. And roll it out. Okay, so let's put the weights to the side. And we're going to do our stretching now. And then we'll have a drink after this. So listen up. Okay, so feet are fairly wide. And we'll do that reaching up and across. Keep the feet down and sweep side to side. So we're stretching those inner thighs. Keeping the chest up. Very good. And then lift the heel as you push away. Got a new one for you. This time, it's open up, reach to one side, back, and to the other side. Breathe in, breathe out. So it's a nice side bend. If you're not able to touch your hands, just reach as far as you comfortably can. You want to feel the stretch, but not the pain. And back to the middle. Circling the waist this time. Other way. And then we've got our knee lifts or circles, whatever your hips can manage. Click, click, creak, creak. Swings or taps. Engage your abs, focus on a spot. Leave the leg forward and let's row the boat. Rocking forward and back on your heels and toes as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Bring that foot back, other leg, swing or tap. Leave that leg forward. This time open and close your arms. And then breathe out. Feet back together. This time we're going to do a neck stretch. So you're just going to roll the head to one side, look over that shoulder, and then to the other side. Nice and slow. And then it's up and down. And then it's side to side. Just lift that heel and let yourself flop. Great work. We'll grab a drink now and move on with the weights. Okay, so we're going to pick up our heavier weights now if you have them. Otherwise, remember, it can just be those baked beans or water bottles. And we'll start off with bicep curls, just with the arms to start. So shoulders back and down, like we did in the warm-up. Straight up, straight down. Breathing out as you lift, slowly lower. Now, if you wish, you can add in the squats with me. As I lift the weights, I drop the butt. So weights in the heels, should be able to wriggle your toes. Good job. One more if you can. 2 and 1. Great work. This time upright row. Let's just do single arms to start. Like you're zipping up that jacket. Leading with the elbows. Nice and slow in that down face. Control. Makes it harder. Breathing out as you lift. We'll do 4 more single arms. And this time, as we squat, it's a little bit wider, feet pointing out slightly. So this one targets more into your backside, your glutes, whereas the narrower squats is more your thighs, meaning your quads. So they both have benefits. Squeeze that butt. Rest if you need to. Last 4. Good work. Okay, this time we'll do some traveling work. So I'll move back a little bit. And we'll start off with just those front extensions. So if you've got fairly light weights, you might do 2 at a time, as long as you're not having to swing your body to lift the weights. Otherwise, just stay with the singles like me. Nice strong wrist, breathing out as you lift. Nice and slow on that down phase, don't let your arms just plonk down, control it. And then we're going to take 4 steps forward as we lift those arms. If you don't have the space in your room, just stay on the spot instead. Good job. And we'll do that one more time, forward. And back. Very good. Okay, same thing, similar thing, but it's an extension. You're keeping the arms out up the chest tight. So it's a little bit harder. Again, it can be together or single, as long as you're not swaying your whole body. I'm just going to stay with those single arms. If you prefer, you can go back to that front raise. And again, we'll go forward. Breathing out as you punch those arms. Or punch that person in front of you. I'm punching my audience. And you're punching me back. And back. Good work. I'll move back to the middle now. Rolling out the shoulders. Okay, this time we're going to tip forward. A nice flat back, bending the knees. And we're lifting. Now if you needed to have a chair close by, a bit close near you, please release. Nice straight neck, I'm looking just ahead. 4 more. Always rest when you need to. Last 2. And 1. Roll it out. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to go above. Blue moon. It can be 1 arm at a time, or it can be 2 arms together. Whenever you can manage. Try not to swing your body. Nice and tight in your abs. Soft knees. Now if your shoulders don't like this, remember you can go back to those bicep curls or rotator cuffs or whatever suits you. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down with both my arms and my legs and add a squat. So it becomes a push press. It can still be done with single arms or it can be done with double arms. Use the strength of your legs and your backside to give you that press up. Breathing in, breathing out. 4 more. And 1. Good way to warm up on a cold day. Get all that blood and oxygen pumping from those large muscle groups. Get your heart rate up as well. Okay, so we're going to tip forward again with that flat back. And this time, it's that fly action. So you're forming like a C shape with your arms. Really focus on pulling those shoulders back and down before you start so you don't get that tension in the neck. If you find this one doesn't suit you, just go back to one of the other exercises. 4 more if you can. And 1. Okay, we'll come up. And this time I'm going to do rotator cuff. So I'm bringing my elbows into the side and rotating through the shoulders. I'm going to move back for this one so we can travel again. Okay, so we'll go forward. And back, keeping those shoulders back and down. And we'll do that one more time. this time, back to the middle, if you can make them wider arms and step to the side. So think about the room you've got around you. If you're not able to travel, that's fine. So now you're extending the arms if you can. Yeah, back to your spot. Very good. Okay, we're going to tip forward again, that flat back. This time my elbows are into the side. I'm going to combine two things together. So it's a row and then tricep arms. So lift and extend. Squeeze, lift. If you needed to hold a chair, you can just do one arm at a time. That's it. Last 4. 2. And 1. So now we're going to do a different type of shoulder press. This time I'm trying to pull my elbows back, and then it can be single arms or double arms, whatever you can manage, as long as you're not having to swing your body to press that weight up. What I'm trying to do is just bring my arms back to 90 degrees and keep those elbows pulled back. Breathing out as you lift. If you find this one too difficult, go back to one of the other exercises or stay with the single arms. It's a really good one for working those upper back muscles as well as the shoulders. Breathing out as you lift. 4 more if you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, we'll go to the single arm row now. So if you want to start off with the weight, 1 or 2 weights in the right hand, then you've got your other hand on the chair or on that front knee. Nice flat back. Lifting and then slowly lower. So control that weight, don't let it just plonk down. It's a lot harder if you control it. Breathe out, slowly lower. Trying to start that lower, but it won't start. Last 4 on this arm. 2 more. And 1. Let's change sides with the 1 or 2 weights. So again, you've got the hand on the chair or on that bent knee. Nice flat back. Lift. Slowly lower. Looking just ahead. Still won't start that down lower. Must need a new spark plug. Last 4. And 1. We're nearly there. Just a few more exercises and we're done. Okay, this time it's a lateral raise. So if you can, you're trying to straighten your arms out to the side. If that's a problem, what you can do is bend your elbows slightly, like so. Or just do single arms. Whatever, or even go back to those rotator cuffs. So whatever you can manage, straight out to the side if you can. Breathing out if you lift, as you lift, keeping those shoulders back and down. It's quite a tough one, especially if you've got heavy weights. Try not to strain your neck, looking just ahead, keep your chin tucked in. 2 more. And then we're going to finish with that nice side bend. So I'm lifting 1 weight up as I slide the other one down my side. Nice and slow. You might find one side's a bit tighter than the other. Certainly is in my case. Those imbalances we were talking about last week as we get older. We need to stretch them out. Okay, so we'll pop the weights away now, grab a drink, and then we'll move on. Good job so far. So we're going to do some body weight exercises now. I thought I'd do it without the weights because sometimes it gets a bit complicated trying to do 2 things together and we just work on technique. Also have a chair close by because you might need to use that for balance. So the first one we're going to do is a lunge. Now if you don't want to do the lunge, you can go back to the squatting or you can just do step backs. What I'm going to do is start off with just a static lunge on the one leg. So if you bring your right leg back, it's fairly wide, at least a bit width apart. Now you've got the chair there, or you can just have your hands on your hips. So with this lunge, I'm just dropping straight up and down. Imagine you're being pulled up with the string, so you're not going forward on that knee. You're just dipping that back knee into some water, and then you're being pulled up by a string. So just go as deep as you can with that leg. If it hurts your knee, keep it shallow, or don't do it. We'll do 2 more on this leg. And 1. Then I bring that foot back to hip width. And then I step back, straight back, moving slightly out. Make sure you're not in train tracks, so you're not wobbly. Got the chair there if you need it. Again, hands on your hips or on the chair, and it's straight up and down. So don't have any weight in that front knee, and there's no pressure there. That front knee stays just behind or in line with my toes. So you can check your posture. You should feel basically a stretch in that back leg and that hip flexor area. Straight up, straight down. 4 more if you can. 2, and 1, and bring it back up. Okay, we'll give the legs a little rest and we'll do our heel raises, so you can stand behind the chair if you need to. And you're lifting up, nice and tall. Working those calves and helping that circulation, especially if you've been sitting around a lot. That blood pools around the ankles and the lower legs. Need to get the blood pumping up again. 1 more. Okay, so this time what we'll do is we'll do an alternating lunge. Again, you've got the chair. If you don't want to lunge this time, what you could do is just step back. So it could be step back, step back. I'm going to lunge. So feet hip width apart, step, lunge. Very good. Straight up, straight down. Last 4. 3. So this is a compound exercise, just like the squats that I was explaining last week. There is purpose and benefit in lunging. If you're able to do them and it doesn't hurt your knees, it is a very functional, good exercise to do. The next one we'll do is a variation of a squat. So I'll just move the chair out of the way. You keep yours close by if you need to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step out to one side and then squat, bring my feet together and step out to the other side. So I'll just position myself better. So step out, so it's a nice wide squat. And up. Usually the wider squat you can get down a little bit deeper and it's a little bit less pressure in your knees. Plus it's just good to vary things around a little bit because your muscles get used to what you're doing. If you do the same thing all the time, they don't benefit as much as if you change things up every now and then. And do 2 on either side if you can. Great job. Okay. Good, so what I think I'll do, the easiest way to do this today, if I start off doing all the abs in the chair, and if you're at a higher level, you could just fast forward through that whole section and then go to the floor. And then if you're not a floor person, you can fast forward through the floor section and go straight to the stretching. So let's do all the abs in the chair first, and then we'll move on to the floor. Okay, so we'll just start off with the tilting the pelvic floor and squeezing. So you're pressing that lower back into the back of the chair as you draw up the pelvic floor. Just get that feeling of using those muscles, like so. Squeeze. And 1. Okay, from here, you can just be the hand on the opposite knee with a little twist. The next level would be an elbow towards the knee. And the next level again would be the feet off the ground and extending one leg and then the other. Harder again if you don't have a weak lower back, you can sit more forward on the chair. So you're leaning back, and then you can do it with the feet down or both the feet up, as long as you don't feel any pain in that lower back. That's it. Anything where we extend the legs, we're actually working the lower abs, and the twisting targets your oblique muscles. 2 more, and 1. Great job. Okay, this time we'll stay forward on the chair if you can. We're going to breathe in, tap your shoulder blades, and then standing up nice and tall. Down, and up. So you should feel your abs as you breathe in and go down, and also as you sit up. Just 2 more. And 1. Okay, we'll sit back on the chair for this one. And first of all, we're going to reach down and try and touch the outside of the opposite heel. So it's actually a nice stretch and bend in the waist. Breathing in, breathing out. Anything that hurts your back, don't do. Again, you can just tap the knee or the side of the leg if you're not able to reach so far. And from here, if you can, you're going to extend the leg and reach towards the outside of that opposite toe, or as far as you can reach. Keeping your back pressed against the chair. Just reaching that shoulder blade across. 2 more on the side. Good work. Okay, this one we're working the lower abs again. So depending on your level, you can just be 1 knee at a time, like so. You can do it so that one lifts up and then touches down, which is a little bit harder. Or we can push up the 2, which we do in the class sometimes. It could be a little bit strenuous though on your lower back or even on your shoulders as you push down. So remember to work at your own level. Just dipping the toes into the water, if that's all you can manage. You should still feel it in those lower abs, whichever way you do it. Right to the end of the song. Good work. Okay, so now what I'll do is the same sort of exercises on the floor. So if you don't want to do the exercise on the floor, just fast forward to the stretching, and I'll see you at the stretch. So what I'd like to do before we go down on the floor, actually, I did forget to do the glute bridge that we sometimes do in the chair, but I've got a variation that happens to be less difficult on your shoulders, less strenuous on your shoulders. So we'll do the bridge from the wall, and then the people that go down on the floor will do it on the floor as well. So from the wall, we'll walk our feet out slightly as if we're going to do those wall sits like we did the other week. Pop your hands on the wall, and then you just lift and squeeze that back side. Bring it back and squeeze. So the lower you get, the harder it's going to be, the higher you'll be able to get. It's actually working your quads as well. So you choose how low you want to go. Squeeze. Really good exercise to do to strengthen your glutes, besides your squatting and your lunging and your other exercises. Really good one for strengthening the lower back as well. So it's important to work those glutes. Biggest muscle in the body. Did you know that one? 4 more. And now if you are going to come to the floor, grab your mat. Get yourself in a comfortable position. So we'll start off just lying down. If you find that strains your neck, you can roll your mat up a little bit to support your neck. And we'll start off just like we did in the chair, just with that pelvic floor tilt. So just think about drawing up the pelvic floor as you press the lower back into the mat. Squeeze. And then from here, you've got your heels in nice and close, and you're going to lift up and do that bridge from the floor. Squeezing that butt tight as you can. Lifting as high as you can, keeping your shoulders in close. Last 4. Okay, and then from here we're doing an oblique one. So we're going to have our hands behind our head just to support our neck. We're not pulling our head forward. Imagine you've got an apple between your chin and your chest. And we're reaching up and across, trying to get the shoulder blade up and reaching that hand to the outside of the opposite knee. Now if you find this is too difficult, you can slightly lift that knee up towards your hand. If there's a strain on your neck, you can keep your head down and just reach as far as you can. Still trying to get that shoulder blade up and across. Breathing out as you extend. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to rest the upper body now entirely, and we're going to work the lower abs. So pressing your lower back against the mat. It can just be little heel digs, if that's enough for you. The next level would be an extension, one and then the other. Next level would be like little bicycles, keeping both feet off the ground. And then next level again is extending the legs. So the lower and the longer you get those legs, the more you're going to work those lower abs, as long as you don't feel it straining your back. Breathing out as you extend. 4 more if you can. And rest. Okay, this one we'll do a forward crunch. So when we're in the chair, we have our hands on our shoulders like so. From the floor, it's a little bit harder. We need to support our head. And again, I'll pull your neck forward. And it's just the smallest crunch. You should feel the crunch between your ribs and your hips. Breathing out as you lift. Looking to the ceiling. Try not to pull that head. So here we're working our upper abs. Forward crunch is upper abs. Are those abs burning yet? Why not? Last 2. And 1. Good job. And then this one is like we did in the chair where we lifted our knees together. We can do it the same with single or double knees. So a single knee would just be sort of drawing that knee in. Like so. The next level would just sort of be pulling them in and little taps down. And the next level is drawing both of them and slightly lifting the tailbone off the mat. We're working our lower abs again. Don't do it if it hurts your back. Last 4. And then we'll finish off combining upper and lower body together. So level 1 would just be elbow to the opposite knee with a little twist. 1 foot down and then the other. The next level is like a little heel dig or a toe tap. And then the next level is that extension. So again, you work your own level, whatever you can manage without straining your back. My abs are on fire. Last 4, and you are done. And stretch. Big long stretch. Now if you're on the floor, just bring your knees into the chest and do a few little circles. And then what we'll do is we'll swing to one side. So I'll work in reverse here. I'll do the stretches from the floor and then I'll go to the chair. So from the floor, I'm bringing my knees over to one side and I'm looking the opposite way. If you can, I'm extending that top leg to intensify that stretch. I'm going to bring those bent knees to the other side and extend that top leg if you can. You feel a pulling in the lower back and in the hip. Also in that shoulder. Nice stretch in that shoulder. If you are able to get on the floor, it is a good way to stretch. You can do a few more stretches than you would be able to in the chair or standing. Bring that in. Then we'll bring one leg up for that hamstring stretch. So try and have the knees straight as you can. Then I'm going to cross that ankle on top of that knee. This is what we normally do in the chair. You can just do gentle pressure like so. Or if you can intensify it by pulling through that bottom leg. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Bring that leg straight up. Try and have as straight knee as possible. Relaxing your shoulders. Cross it over. Press it down if you can. That's it. And then if you want to intensify that, pull that leg through. Okay, so we'll rock ourselves to a seated position or however you tend to get up. What I'll do is I'll come to the chair now and do those same exercises or similar exercises in the chair, and then we'll all finish off standing together. Okay, so similar exercises, as similar as possible. The first stretch we did was just stretching through like so. So I'm sort of trying to stretch the front, my abs here, as I lean back. Just be careful you don't slide off the chair. And then the next one I did is I brought my knees in and I did a few circles. That's a little bit hard to do in the chair, but we could get a lower back stretch by linking our arms under our knees and pulling upward. Then the next stretch, what we'll do is we'll bring our opposite hand across that hip and looking over that back shoulder. Go the other side. Then if you can, we're going to bring that leg up, similar to what we did on the floor. You can use a little bit of pressure. Now we're not able to grab the bottom leg like we did on the floor, but what we can do instead is we can have our hand or our elbow and pull that leg in towards our chest. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Bring the ankle across, gentle pressure if you can without hurting. That's it. And then bring that leg up if you can. Okay, so we'll finish off standing, so we'll all do this together now for our final stretches. So there was one final stretch we could have done in the chair, that's the hamstring stretch, which we did do on the floor by raising our leg, but it can also be done standing, so you can choose whether you want to do it sitting or standing. So if you're standing, make sure you put the weight on that bent knee, not on the straight leg. And we've got our toe flexed and a nice straight knee and flat back, leaning forward. Then we'll point that toe down, lean a little further. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I hope you've enjoyed the series. It certainly was fun filming them. We've learnt a lot, stressful at times, but overall it was a fun thing to do. Point the toe down. So the next one we'll do is a calf stretch. So I'm going to bring my leg back. Same arm as back leg across. So if you wanted to, you could do the stretches separately or hold on to a chair and do the calf stretch if you need to. And we'll drop that knee, lift that heel and make that hip flexor stretch and triceps. So I hope you learned a few things too. I did try and do a few things different to what we did in the class. We'll do the calf stretch on the other leg. Same arm as back leg for shoulder. Drop that knee, lift the heel, and tricep stretch. Okay, we'll bring our feet back, rounding out through the back, pull the navel in, and reach in front. And then we'll flip, reach up, arms out to the side, wrist back, thumbs down, and then linking behind, open up through the chest and shoulders. it's time for a neck stretch. We'll press the heel of one hand down and tip the head the other way. Gently roll the head, swap sides. And then if you can, we'll reach above, lean across to the side. Other side. And then ITB stretch, have the chair if you need it. One leg behind the other, same arm as back leg up and over. Back to the middle, other side. And bring it back, roll out those shoulders. And I hope you've enjoyed that, everyone. It's been great doing them for you. I can't wait to get back to the class for real though. I really have missed you all. So let's hope that's not too far from now. But in the meantime, enjoy the series. You can play them back as often as you want. You can fast forward the bits you don't like. You can repeat one over and over again if you like one and not another one. Even do one 30-minute class twice over and repeat the same exercises twice is not a bad idea as well. So you use those videos however you choose. But in the meantime, take care and keep well. And good job, everyone. Fantastic effort. Look forward to seeing you soon. And here's the director. Only because I promised. Bow. Ciao.